All right, it's a beautiful sunny day. We're out at Knott's Berry Farm. I'm gonna give you my top 5 rides out here. Join us today on the XP Project. All right, so we are out at one of my favorite parks in the world, Knott's Berry Farm. I've been coming here since I was a really little kid, and I'm really excited just because it's just such a nice day today, and I just love being out here. This park feels a lot like Lagoon, my home park. Just a lot of the rides are very similar, and just kind of the age and the nostalgia on it. I just love this park. It just means a lot to me because I've been coming here for so long. So today I'm going to be doing my top 5 favorite rides here. There were a couple that are down, Montezuma's Revenge and Accelerator, which might have been on that list. So since they're down, I'm not going to put them on this list, but we'll talk about them a little bit. But we're going to do my top 5. Let's get to it. All right, so this one's like your river run rapids type thing. This is such a great ride. This is actually one of my favorite river rapids ride. The speed, kind of the drops, things like that. This one's really well done, and it's been around for a while. I was trying to figure out, and if you guys know in the comments, let me know. I used to ride on this when I was a kid, but I don't know if the track is exactly the same. And this is the first time I've been on it since I was really young, but I just absolutely love this one. And drop in the comments if you're from around here and you know, was this ever redone or is this still the original track? This actually has one of my favorite queues at the park as well. It's just so nicely done. And they've got the sounds and the ambiance. And I don't know if they're pumping in smell or if it's just from these great pine trees, but it smells so good in this queue. I love it. This might have been a mistake.
You never know which seat is going to be the one. There's always that one.
Oh! Whoa!
That's the worst thing I can see.
Oh, gotcha.
Lucky you.
I literally got the worst one. Fuck, what number is this?
What number is
Dude,
this?
avoid that. I would have so bad.
You want to say about turkey?
Not too bad, came away with minimal damage. And the one thing I love about that rapids is just that there's like the animals and kind of the ambiance and everything that you get in that one. It kind of makes it feel almost more like an attraction than just like a rapids ride. And that's why I love it so much. That's why I have it on this list. So I'm not sure what it is, and tell me if you agree with me, but there's something about the air conditioning in all the shops here at Knott's Berry Farm that's so nice. I don't know if they just have better quality air conditioners than anywhere else, but if you're really hot out here during the day, just cross through a shop or go shopping for a minute. It's so nice. It just hits you a different way than other air conditioners. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right, so I had to put Calico Mine Train on this list, not because it's thrilling or anything like that, but this is like pure Knott's nostalgia. And really what this park kind of is about is like, you know, like the Old West, coaches, the miners, everything like that. This ride's just a classic. I'm not gonna record this one just because it's really dark inside, and so there's not really anything to record, but you got to go on this one when you get here. It's a great one for the kids too, because you just kind of go into a mine cart, you go inside this mine here, and it's got like a little bit of a story of kind of the old days. It's just such a classic ride. So these are the things I love about coming during the holiday season. Is I had no idea that they had that Calico Mine Train themed for Halloween. They kind of had like a whole nother story in there that was like the miners were like looking for candy and whatnot, and I really like that. It's just coming to these places during like Halloween or Christmas, you get like a whole different experience. That's why it's such a great time. You know, the other thing I didn't mention earlier in this video is if you come out to Knott's Berry Farm during the week, the prices are so reasonable and nice, and there's like hardly any crowds. I mean, I've only waited about 5 minutes on every ride that I've been on so far today. All right, so Silver Bolt, let's talk about this one. This is such a good coaster. So the reason I like this one so much is because you're hanging, you know, which not a lot of coasters do, but you're also going upside down. A lot of the hanging coasters don't go upside down as well. And what that does is it creates almost like a whip effect. And so depending on which seat you're in, the whip is more intense, but really any seat in this one's super intense. It doesn't look really intense when you first get on it, but once that thing gets going, it goes. And that's why this is definitely on the list. Man, you know, The Silver Bullet, the only thing I can maybe like think that it's comparable to would be like when they take the astronauts on like the G-force spin training thing, because that last whip, I guess, whip is what I like to call it because it feels like a whip. That last one, like your face is like you feel like you're like falling away. The sensation on that ride is better than like any coaster, just for the sheer sensation. I really can't explain it. You got to go on this ride. Drop a comment if you've been on this Wipeout ride here over by the accelerator. That ride, like, that is like in my nightmares. Like, it spins and goes up and down. I can't think of a worse ride for somebody like me that doesn't like spin rides. The Supreme Scream there, they've got 3 carts that run on that one versus at the home park at Lagoon, they've got just the 2. I bet the queues run a lot faster just having that whole extra cart on it. All right, so while we're talking about my top 5 today, I'd love to hear down in the comments, what are your guys' favorite ride at Knott's Berry Farm, or top 5 even? I'd love to hear the whole top 5. I know that with these top 5 videos that I do, it's just my opinion. I don't always necessarily pick the best rides. It's just my opinion on what I like the best. And I have preferences, so I'd love to hear yours. Oh, and then you're just gonna like sit up here for a minute. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Look at that view. Whoa. Whoa! So there's a couple things that I absolutely love about this park. So one of the things is that it's so like, there's a lot of new rides here, nice new rides, but a lot of them are just super old school and just kind of just bring back so many memories from when we were kids. Like I said, I was coming here since I was like 2 years old, so a lot of the rides are just super old. While I'm on that subject, I'm gonna throw one out here. So over by where like the Grizzly Creek Lodge is, I'm over there right now. When I was a kid, they had this like bear fun house. Like I wouldn't say haunted house, it was almost like a bear fun house, and you go in there and there was some animatronic stuff like that. I remember that. That was probably about 25 years ago. If you guys can remember any of the other old rides here, there is another one that I'll mention just as a side note. The dinosaur ride where the Berry Tales is now, that was one of my favorite rides as a kid. If you can think of any other ones that aren't here now, pop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you say. All right, so for anyone that's been on this ride, I think you know why I have this one at number 1. This ride is so well done. And the funny thing that I like about this ride so much is that when you first go on it or you look at it, you're kind of like, oh, this is just like a rinky-dink wooden roller coaster. But when you get on that, it does not feel like a wooden roller coaster. It's so smooth and it's so fast. I think it gets up to like 56 miles an hour. And the turns are so sharp and so smooth. For what it looks like, it doesn't feel like it does. And it almost takes my breath away every time at the start of that. You know, if you're kind of like me and you're not somebody that's like really obsessed with like loops and you don't really like spinning a ton, that is just such a pure, great, well-designed ride, and that's why it's my number one, no question. All right, so the old Accelerator definitely would be on this list. It's just an amazing coaster, but that coaster's not back up and running yet. So next time we're out here, maybe it'll be up and going, but for right now, it's not up and going. So won't make this list today. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for our top 5 rides at the Knott's Berry Farm Park in California. The only thing I gotta do now is go get myself a piece of boysenberry pie. I'm gonna take that back to the hotel and eat that tonight. I appreciate everything all you guys do. Thanks for following, thanks for the subscribes. I really couldn't do it without you guys. I'm having a great time out in California. California, thanks for being so welcoming to me. Thanks for joining us on the XP project.